We are live here at the studio by Feast It Forward in the blazing hot Napa Valley, and we are here feasting with a good friend, Chef Ken Frank, and Tim Flannery and Lunatic Fringe. Woo! We got a live audience here. Cheers. First custom, we got a cheers, right? We got two cheers. Cheers,
Yep.
cheers. Okay. Cheers. Okay.
Good luck, everybody.
Yeah.
Good luck. However, take a sip. We have to distribute the men so you know who you are. You, Mr., are Freddie, okay?
Freddie.
Bottoms up, Freddie, okay? Flan is going to be Spencer because he can be a real prick, but then he can be a gem.
How did you know?
What?
God, she has
Okay,
met.
all right,
She said
let's
she
see.
met me before.
Let's see. We're gonna have Brad right there, and you're gonna be Blake. Blake is a charmer.
Oh,
Jack.
Drinking right out of the bottle.
I just, okay. Let's, I don't know how to,
Who do you have?
I don't know. You figure that out. And Blake. Well, you've got two Blakes.
There you go.
Okay.
There we go. See, he's
and,
all set up on
and
that.
mine is the biggest, so.
Who are you?
Yeah, Brad, you. All right, so cheers to everybody in the audience. Thank you for being here. Cheers.
What happened?
All right, this show is Riffs and Recipes. What we do here at the studio by Feast It Forward is bring awareness to unique and amazing causes as we raise a glass awareness and funds. And here we just jam. You'll see a lot of fun instrument playing by utensils. Chef Ken will be cooking up a storm. We'll be playing music, we'll be talking, but most importantly, people, now's the time to stop bullying. This is in support of the Love Harder Project. Don't want to get emotional, but you have started a very, very amazing must-do now cause that is all about ending violence and bullying in our society, especially with children and people that may not agree on things of races and color, and we all put on our damn pants the same fucking way, okay? And you can curse on this show,
girl.
you can say whatever you want. We are here to raise awareness, so for those of you in the audience, thank you. Your donation, your $100 seat here went right back to the cause, so thank you. Thank you. And those of you watching that aren't here, whether you're waking up in Japan or you're going to sleep on the East Coast, please make a donation and let's support the cause. So, Chef, you're gonna start prepping and they're gonna get going on a jam, and we're just gonna open this baby up.
Let's do this.
Okay, what do you got?
Well, I've been on the road for about 36 years. I left when I was a long time ago, actually, 36 years. I didn't just show up looking like this, folks. And I'm a baseball guy and a music guy, and through the years I met a lot of characters on the road. So I wrote this song. It's called Three Ring Circus, and I came up here to San Francisco and ended up winning 3 world championships. So I figured, why not have one called Three Ring Circus about the characters I hang out with and I met on the road. Hey, 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 hey. Well, there were pirates, there were preachers, gamblers, there were teachers on the road I've been traveling down. There were cowboys, there was Indians, there were enemies and good friends. I met a king, he wore thorns for a crown. And I heard the words of his story, part-time pain, part-time glory. Nothing that he said I could understand. But the one thing I'd witnessed from a broken-hearted mistress, it's a fool bets on best laid plans. Yeah. Well, I've felt anger, rage, and violence lose itself in silence. In the breath of God, you'll never be betrayed. And I was drunk up on the mountain, drinking from the fountain that flows from amazing grace. I stumbled with the chalice when my love grew cold and calloused, darkened by my journey and my plight. In the shadow I was smitten by a story that had been written long ago. His love still burns like a light. Hey, Jeff Berkeley! On bass. Chris Grant on drums. With a story to tell you. Part-time pain and part-time glory in this three-ring circus that's leaving town. And in the smoke rings in the mirror, I come to see things clearer from the bridges that have all burned down. Well, there were pirates, there were preachers, gamblers, there were teachers. I saw it all through the tears of a clown. Thank you.
Oh, man, that was amazing. So this is what we're about. We have fun live in the studio. We raise money for charity. We get to taste and smell delicious food. And of course, amazing wine, so thank you to our wine partners. Chef, I'm going to hand it off to you and tell us about what you're making here.
So tonight I'm going to make pretty straightforward soup de poisson. It's French for fish soup. You make it with any number of kinds of fish or lots of kinds of fish. It's something that I make at home when I get a night off, and it's just me and Sherelle. We have a Thai snapper or a pink bream here tonight. I'm going to fillet this guy shortly. I just turned this
pink brain?
Pink bream.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting.
It's very close to a snapper, but you could use any number of local rockfish. You could use any assortment of fish. We're going to cook fennel, onions, tomatoes, white wine, fish bones, good pinch of saffron in the pot. We're going to cook it for 45 minutes till it's really, 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 really done. Then I'm going to push it through a sieve into that pot there. In the meantime, I'll have cut the fish into little thin slices, and we'll just poach them at the last minute so they're tender, because I don't want to cook the whole fish for an hour, but just the part that tastes good. And it's going to start smelling good in here pretty soon.
Is this a sashimi grade fish?
That is.
Could we eat some of it now?
Did you want to pick it up and eat it like a sardine, or do you want to wait? You want to wait? You want to? When I get around to cutting it, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So ask your questions. We're live on Facebook, obviously, but for those of you who have your burning questions about, Flannery out on the field, to commentating, to, of course, the Love Harder Project, to the Lunatic Fringe, please ask your questions. I'm moderating it here. Be kind and make your donations. So you're going to keep going, and I want to dive into how this started, too. I'm getting into this. It's your rodeo.
In 1972, my dad moved my family to France, and I went to French public school, and at the end of the year, I wanted to stay, and we lived in a village on Lake Geneva, and they said, get a job, and you can stay. So I got a job washing dishes in a local hotel. I moved in with a friend's family. He was the 10th child of a multi-generation family of lake fishermen, and I paid my room and board all summer filleting fish. I love cutting fish. Yeah.
This guy's from Minnesota. He knows about ice fishing, and he's all about that, what you're talking about.
Come on, we want you on camera here. Come on. He made it, Jeff!
So I got a job washing dishes, and I came back to the U.S. for my 11th grade year in high school, and I desperately want to go back to France because I had so much fun. So I got a job flipping burgers on the weekend at a ski resort in Southern California, and went back to France the next summer. And in my senior year in high school, I got a job as a dishwasher because I needed money.
So you're gigging.
And so I'm gigging, and then I went to UC Irvine for I was in pre-med. No, I wasn't there long enough to be an anteater. I was there about 3 months. And realized I like cooking. I don't want to do this pre-med shit. So I'm on leave of absence. That would have been since 1975. Pretty well made up my mind now, because I found something that I really love to do. And then when you get to do something and get paid to do something you love to do, life is good. So life is good, and life is good, and we're going to make some good soup.
It's right down the street. They're neighbors of ours at the West End. I first experienced you up in, obviously Rutherford, but man, does he make a mean.
What's the place called again?
Latoque.
Latoque. You
That's
hear that?
It's not about product placement.
Nothing to do with
I'm sorry. I was slow on the
nothing to do with 420. It's the French word for a tall white chef's hat.
Yeah.
There you go.
We should have started this at 420. Yeah.
Remember that. He'll use that tomorrow night at our next show, I promise.
We should, there could be a whole new show after the cameras go off. So we could token with the we got you. We got your amazing story. I didn't know you chop a de fiche. I didn't know you did that.
I paid my room and board 2 summers playing fish for a couple hours in the morning.
Awesome.
Mountains of little lake perch and whitefish and other things. And to this day, cutting fish is still one of my favorite things. I'm going to cut this bad boy up shortly. I'll save you a little corner.
We'll save a little bit.
I'll save you a little corner.
So Flan,
How about the pike?
What?
He wants to know about the pike.
The what?
Minnesota, from the pike.
The pike, from the pike.
Pike is a delicious fish. It is full of bones, but it is one of the sweetest, most tender of the freshwater fish you can eat. It makes perfect dumplings. I mean, there's no better fish for making quenelle than pike. I mean, it is. Yeah, that's great. Well,
Best dumplings in the
we'll,
whole band. We could do a dumpling cook-off.
We'll do those next time.
So let's get into the Love Harder project. Well, first Flannery. I mean, gamer babes out there, I love you. Those of you watching, gamer babes. Woo! It's been special as a Giants fan and as a former athlete myself to watch you off the field too. I mean, it's been a pleasure, and now you have this incredible cause to rope it all in together. So how did that all begin?
Well, first of all, the music has been a part of our lives forever. I just released my 14th record. My family comes from the mountains of Kentucky. We were raised on the Louvin brothers, the Everly brothers, the family harmonies. And then I came to Southern California and fell in love with the Flying Burrito brothers. So I was kind of like the crosshairs of the gumbo of the music's in our blood. But the folks I play with here, we've been playing together for over 25 years. He's produced all of my records. That's Jeff Berkeley, and Sean Rolfe here and I have been friends forever. They all have their own bands, so we come together when we're out on a 3-day run. This is Chris Grant, the newest member. He's from Perth, Australia. He's 32 years old. We were looking for a drummer, and he's an amazing drummer. I go, "Are you sure you want to play with us? I'm older than your parents." And he goes, "I love playing with you old." So he's been on our... And then I brought the wonderful Eve Sellis up with me. Eve's got her own... Everybody's got their own thing happening, but for the next few days, we're the Lunatic Fringe. So Brian Stowe, it all started when I came up here as a third base coach from San Diego with Bruce Bochy. I wasn't going to let anybody up here know about my music because you get in trouble sometimes. At least I did in San Diego, because what do you mean he has a record contract? What do you mean he's playing music? He doesn't love the game.
Conflict of interest. Yeah.
But San Francisco, people understood you can be an artist and still be the third base coach. Still, I wasn't going to get to know anybody. I wasn't going to let nobody in on the music. We had a 2-year contract, no guarantees, so I didn't know what was going to happen. I'd wake up in the fog in somebody else's house going, what did I do? I left everything to come up here. And then it started happening. And we were brought in to create a team. Really, after Barry Bonds took off, it was more about Barry Bonds. So we were brought in to create a team atmosphere. We also had some really good pitching coming. That helped putting together a team. So next thing you know, we won a world championship in 2010. Well, the following year, there was a fan in Los Angeles on opening day. He's from Santa Cruz. Brian Stowe is his name. And he came down with a buddy to see his favorite team play against a rival Giant team. At that time, the Dodgers were going through some transitions. They were selling the team. They had cut security. It was vicious in the stands. I was coaching third, and I never heard anything like it. At the end of the game, we heard that this fan got jumped, beat up, and beat into a brain-damaging coma and probably won't live. So about 2 weeks later, and it affected me because I'm the same thing. I'm a father, I'm a brother, I'm a dad like he was, I'm a son. His whole family left everything and became full-time caregivers. So somebody reached out to me and asked, would you do a fundraiser? We've heard your music. Michael Pritchard, you guys remember him down in Humphreys. He books in San Diego. He goes, Flannery can do this. So I go, yeah, I would love to do this. So we played one night, sold the Yoshis out. Next week we played Uptown Theater here in Napa, and Bobby Weir of the Dead got wind of it, and he showed up and came and was part of it. One thing led to another, but we haven't done anything different. All we're doing is playing gigs just like we always play. But the miracle for me were people that are here tonight that came and wrote checks, the people that showed up one night there and wrote over like $90,000 in checks. We ended up raising close to $300,000 for Brian for medical expenses. We didn't have the Love Harder project at that time. We were just doing what we always do, and we knew that if my music can be the ministry to help, I'm all in. So one thing led to another. The next year, we decided to become a nonprofit, the Love Harder Project, and so people could easily donate to us, through us. And we don't have anybody that's paid. We have a CPA gets paid by the hour, but everybody else is volunteers. My wife was the president, but now we moved her over to the merch girl because she's better at that, and she's better at getting us to the gigs because we were not the Lunatic Fringe for not a reason. We all are disabled in our own way, and she takes care of us. So we started the Love Harder Project. We've now been in business for 6 years, officially as a 501(c), and we've done, we raised that money, and every time we play in a place, we'll leave, like if we played Reading not too long ago, we left money for domestic violence refuge, we left money for fire survivors and the victims. We did it here in Sonoma. We have these grants that children can write in from schools and say, here's what we're doing. We support all the programs of anti-violence, anti-bullying, and the grants have set up peace gardens, buddy benches all over the country that they can have a place during lunch where there are counselors there, where they're protected from being bullied.
A buddy bench. I love that.
So, and it's very organic. And
You do.
It's all the money from the CDs that we sell, all the money from the merch, and all the money from the shows. Most of it after expenses for these amazing musicians, because they all play with rock stars, and they come up and do a lot of it for free, but they also need to get here. So. We're all organic. We need support, and we're going to keep doing it as long as we have support. Can I sing a song?
Yes, but I want to make a quick mention of, here's this funny dichotomy here. Ken grew up in LA, correct? He was a Dodgers fan, okay? When I talked about, when we talked about this show, I'm like, okay, no, there's something special here. Dodgers fan, we all put our pants on the same way. This is about the Love Harder Project, which kind of started based on this Brian Stowe, Dodgers, Giants rivalry. Crazy. So I'm like, this is, no, it's really a perfect fit to have this conversation right here, right now about what you're doing, and we can all be at peace with one another, and we all put on our pants the same way. I always use that term. It's like, be kind, be human, we can all support each other.
And when we started talking, we both have the same kind of story. We both have the same story about a connection that though we're from the rival teams, it's a beautiful game, number one. Let's start with that, but let's even go deeper. Let's tell the story about Vin Scully, because I have the same type of story.
You know, I grew up in Los Angeles. I'm a third generation Angelino. There aren't many of those. And so I was weaned on Dodger baseball with Vin Scully. And then when I opened my restaurant, Vin Scully became one of my favorite customers. And to have him come into Latoque and introduce his friends to me and to have him say my name, to hear Vin Scully say Ken Frank was like, it was so cool. And I mean, and you were saying the same thing. I mean, when you come up to bat and you hear Vin Scully announce you at the plate and you hear that echo off 20,000 radios in the stands, it's like,
You step out of the box.
Wow.
And you go, oh my God!
Yeah.
I made it to the big leagues.
and Vin, just one of the classiest people ever in the game, transcended any team rivalry. It was a one of a kind, and I would be disloyal to myself if I wasn't a lifelong Dodger fan after being raised like that.
And that's the beauty of it. It's like you said, it's a beautiful game.
Yeah.
Like, we
Because
all like,
the rivals those aren't fans. Those are thugs.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
are bullies. Those are people that need to be put away, and you have to call bullies out. Every time I call a bully out, you get hate. When you're an anti-violence, anti-bullying organization, you get the bullies. I've had death threats. I played Fresno about 6 months ago.
now see, chop.
See?
Hi-ya. That was perfect timing.
But I have a gift. I played Fresno, and I had to hire a cop with a gun out there, and I told my pedal steel player, who's a rock star, I got a guy out there with a gun that's getting paid more than you tonight. And he goes, there's bigger targets. I said, shut up. I want you to hear Eve Sellis. She is an amazing singer. In 1999,
I wish you were here because we heard this acoustic earlier when we were doing sound check, and oh my, this is remarkable.
in 1999, I was very, very sick. I just lost my father. I went into a chemical depression. I had chronic fatigue. I didn't get out of bed like for a long, long time, 12 months, 13 months. And I remember driving down the street, and on the radio, this lady was all over the radio down there, and I heard this song about a healing that took place. And I had a healing, a lot of one like that, a healing like that. I pulled over on the side of the road and found out who it was, and then I found her CD, and she was stupid enough to put her phone number on it. And I've been stalking her for 25 years. She finally surrendered, and she showed up, and this is her song. You talk about it, and we'll play.
All right. This song is called Show Me What Love Is, and it's about, maybe you already have love all the way around you, you don't even realize it. It's already there. And you've been looking for this love all your life, whether it's spiritual love or, a relationship or just maybe a connection with your parents. And sometimes it's just about the surrender to it.
Crowded subway, Monday morning blue. Lost my Sunday, nothing much to do. I wasn't giving, none giving back to me. Until I met you. You have what I need. I was so blind I didn't realize I had been waiting for you in my life to show me what love is. Show me what love is. Show me what love is. Tell them now.
Days went by, where did they begin? The pain had me hypnotized, sometimes without end. I've been hiding in a world outside my door, never knowing there was something more. And I was living halfway, never whole. You have embraced me down into my soul to show me what love is. Show me what love is. Show me what love is.
Now I'm high, a million miles in a dream. Lay your hands over me. Yeah. And I was living halfway,
Never whole. You have embraced
me down into my soul to show me what love is. Show me what love is.
Show me what love is.
Show me what love is.
Show me what love is.
Show me, show me. Show me what love.
Show me what love is. Show me what love is.
Show me, show me.
EastSalus.com. Do yourself a favor.
That was awesome.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean,
It's so hard to sing when I'm like, oh my gosh.
I like
It
the
looks
instru-
amazing.
But I like the onion
I don't even
instrumental.
like fish.
The onions
That looks
into
amazing.
instrumental.
well, and you know what? When he like adds the oil and a little wine, it's like psst, it's like that. You need to do an album with just like a little frying action, be like, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, we're onto something. So okay, we're gonna talk about
He's the
you,
producer.
Flan in the pan,
In the pan
or
with
in the
Flan.
pan with Flan,
I had a cooking show way before these guys ever even thought about
Flan
it.
in the pan, and I do want to talk about this because he brought in some special little mushrooms.
Well, we like
Not
those.
that kind,
We like
no.
those too, but we think we have chanterelles here today.
Yes. And
Hey, they're legal some places.
yes,
They are? Wait, what?
We don't know yet.
Those are massive, Kim.
These are porcini, Boletus edulis, if you really want to get technical. Ceps in France, porcini in Italy. These were
I'm sorry. Say that again.
cep in France,
Okay.
porcini in Italy, which means the little pig.
Oh. Okay.
These are nice, tight little buttons. These were forged a couple days ago by a friend of mine just outside of Yosemite.
Is that C-E-P-E?
CEP, correct, yeah.
You know, important to watch the In the Pan with Flan. It's called Mushroom Heaven. You can go on YouTube and Tim Flannery In the Pan with Flan, because we teach you the poisonous mushrooms, because this isn't something to just go, hey, we're going to go pick some mushrooms.
Oh yeah.
Please do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously, there's been some idiots out there.
There aren't very many mushrooms that will kill you, but the ones that will kill you all the way dead
That's
really
right.
quick.
Yes.
We wrote a song once called Mushroom
And they're really
Roulette.
cute, too.
We put 6 chanterelles in a bag and 1 poisonous one, and we shook them up, and then you get to take them out, and that's mushroom roulette. Don't try that at home, kids.
Is that something that we can hear later? Mushroom roulette?
I can't even remember it. It was a one-night affair.
Because you got the special mushroom in the back. It was yeah, okay. Well, I have to say, Royal Jelly Jive came on the other week, and we did a song, and so here's the challenge, okay? This is the challenge.
Okay.
You, by the end of this show, have to make up a song about the dish. Royal Jelly
Okay.
Jive did a duck breakfast sandwich, and you got to come up with something with his soup. So
All
that's
right.
maybe the encore.
We all do a verse.
Yeah, you all do a verse, okay?
Okay.
So think about it. Think about it. Okay, wait. Let me give me some fish.
Oh, you want some fish now?
Yes.
You're about
You're
a
gonna
mi-
forget about it.
No, I'm not. But
Okay,
you're
don't forget about it.
you're about a minute early.
Oh, you know, you gotta be.
I need
gotta
to
be
write
strong
it down
with these
already. I
guys
got
here.
it coming.
Okay, so you're making this as a stock, and then are you gonna like blend it, or is this all gonna be?
This is going to be cooked to death in another 30 minutes, and we're going to push it through a strainer. And then the fish here, this is kind of my way of doing it. I'm going to actually cut it into thin slices, and we'll just simmer it for the last minute to just finish those little slices. So the fish is cooked perfectly. But all the rest of the fish, all the trim just goes right in the soup, because that's where all the good flavor is. So you wanted a slice?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we do have Jessica Smith. Hi, thanks for watching. Hi,
Jessica.
hi Tim. Hi, my angel.
That's me.
Right? Oh, it's Jessica.
I get to be the angel this time.
Yes. So please ask your questions. And for those of you just tuning in, we are live at the studio by Feast It Forward. Chef Ken Frank is making an amazing fishy dish. And then we're here with, of course, the legendary Tim Flannery and Lunatic Fringe. And if you're not here and you didn't pay for a ticket, please donate to the Love Harder Project, because bullying must be put to an end. We can support kids and we can support violence, so please make a donation right here on our live stream. And I commend you guys for what you're doing. I mean, I think that it is a very now topic necessary. And I have 2 young girls of my own, a 2 and a 5-year-old, and I do, as abrasive and strong as I am, as you probably can tell, I was bullied when I was young, and I remember coming home from school and actually crying, and that's not me. Like, I don't take shit.
And this is taking
And
it to
this
another
is-
level. The social media is taking it to another level. And
totally.
it's something that they need to understand that, I had 16,000 followers a week ago, and I walked away from Twitter. I thought it was going to be cool to be able to try to talk with people about things. And I realized I didn't need to be on Twitter, because it went from all of a sudden baseball, all the analytics, the new analytics. So all the stuff that I came up with, as a coach or
In real time.
in real time, it meant nothing. The new analytics, the guy had a computer and had a theory in a laboratory, So, but can we play a song?
Yes, I'm just gonna drink.
All right.
Yeah.
And what I like to say is we're the front line, because we actually drive all over. She drives all over. She drives us
Yes, and
San Diego to
Thank
Redding,
you.
San Diego to Redding, San Diego Chico, San Diego Fresno. We play, and these guys are animals. They come from Southern California, and they're here every week when we're playing. And anyway, it's Father's Day on Sunday, right?
Yes.
Here's all the fathers, and people go, well, how do you write your songs? Are they baseball songs? I go, well, sometimes they're written during a baseball game, because we were in Cincinnati and went 4 days without scoring a run. So I was coaching third base, and I had a lot of time to think about a lot of things. Nobody got to second base. And when you're coaching third base in Cincinnati, you're looking over the right field wall, over the Ohio River into the mountains of Kentucky, where my family came from. And there was a nice little rain falling on us. And in Hawaii, they call it Olalena, the spirit rain. In Kentucky, we call it hillbilly rain. I think it fits for tonight, and it fits for Father's Day, and we're going to play it. Let's go again, just because he's doing the fish. I hear the thunder down the river, Sometimes the storms are God's refrain. Sometimes the wind can get much stronger when it's dancing with hillbilly rain. Sings in birds and talks in rainbows. I can hear the sound in a distant train. Come to take me up the mountain where you call to me hillbilly rain. Come on, everybody. Share the wine and share the whiskey. Share the moment of the day. Share the gift of God's salvation when you're walking in hillbilly rain.
That's a good song.
In the spring when the river's flowing, morning brings an Irish green. Ancestors call down from the holler, come home again, hillbilly rain. Share the wine and share the whiskey. Share the moment of the day. Share the gift of God's salvation when you're walking in hillbilly rain. Bird.
Play right on here.
Yeah. Kitty, give us a nice solo. Hey, Perthian, give us something good. That way, Kitty. We're the Lunatic Fringe.
We need more bull bells.
She's right. When she's right, she's right.
I walk in footprints before me, and your blood runs thick inside my veins. And my heart will always tell the story of the love you gave, it still remains. The peace I found in the pain, and the grace I learned along the way, and the song I found in the rain, the song I hear in the rain, the song I sing in the rain, the song I wrote from the rain, the song tonight, hillbilly rain. Happy Father's Day! Come on, Pop!
Okay.
To all the pops out there, even this pop, spent.
Yes.
Who do you got again? Chad,
I
Brad?
think
don't
I'm
know.
taking this cheese grater
I'm
with
telling
me.
you, there's a lot of fun little things
late.
in here. Cheers to my dad, my pops down there. Happy Pop Day almost.
Yes.
And so how can we help? How can we help you beyond the obvious? For those of you watching, make your donations, and thank you again to everyone in the audience. How can we assist in furthering your project?
There's a bunch of different ways. The easiest way is to go on loveharderproject.org and hit the store button, and you can buy the coolest merchandise. You can buy these really cool sweatshirts with a beautiful logo, the Love Harder. Come here, Kendi. She's our road manager.
Yeah, Kendi!
Yeah, show 'em.
Get in on there.
Get closer.
Oh,
You gotta turn. You gotta make.
Your second career modeling.
Yeah.
Lay down on the slab here.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Do you want me to come be Vanna? And yeah.
You guys can order this, and it's Father's Day gifts, and they're great. It's a great message of the Love Harder.
Yay! Thank you, Candy.
And there's tumblers and all the music. You go on iTunes, Tim Flannery. Check iTunes. You can download it every CD baby. You get, or you can get it for free anywhere. But just go check the music, support the music, or if you'd like to donate money, you can donate money. I mean, I've matched sometimes. First year, somebody wrote a check, and I go, wow. So I matched it. But I can't do that anymore. People always go, why don't you write a big check? Well, I go, I only hit 9 home runs in the 80s. I can't just write a big check. But this is our ministry, and we're going to continue to do it. And we've done it for a while. Check us out, loveharderproject.org. Thank you.
I love it. I love it. Somebody asked, for those just tuning in, what is this amazing culture?
So it's really simple. I filleted the fish.
Oh, yeah.
The bones and everything. Take a piece.
Oh.
Yeah.
Does anybody else want a little fishy? Can
Yeah.
Flan, can I feed you some fishy?
Absolutely.
Okay.
The bones went in the pot with some onions, some fennel, a bunch of olive oil, a little garlic, a bunch of tomatoes, some saffron, salt and pepper. Deglazed with a little white wine. We're going to cook it 30, 40 minutes. It's moving along quite well. I added some fingerling potatoes, which I'll pull out. But
Wait, I'm sorry. Why are you going to take those out?
because we're going to keep them whole. And then they're going to go back in. So I'm going to strain this mess in about 10, 12 minutes. And then it's going to be a nice, really rich broth. And then we'll just simmer the fish in it for the last couple of minutes. Just cook the fish and add the potatoes back in. And we'll have, a couple, 2, 3 bowls of delicious, hearty fish soup made with fish and some vegetables in under an hour. It's just straight up good cooking with good ingredients, and it's simple. And you can vary this recipe in a multitude of ways. You can add other things. You can leave a few things out. You can make it spicier if you want. It's just good, simple, good cooking.
I think now is the
Smells
time
really
to say, want to hear a song about it? Want to hear about it? Here it goes.
It sounds like something from Memphis.
Yeah, you
It
need
sounds like
Here's
Memphis.
I happen to have a song about it. Here's how it goes.
Yeah, you want to hear a song about it? Here's how it goes.
Oh my God, I love it.
There you go, him, Memphis.
Too bad you don't have smell-o-vision.
I know. We're working on it. I'm telling you. But what you wrote a song apparently before you got here about this amazing soup, and I want to hear it.
I don't know if it's about the soup. It's your song, Eve. You tell them. I want you to sing it.
Dang it. Well, this song was actually inspired by.
Oh, you're not going there yet. I see what. Oh, I thought you were doing the soup song.
Oh, no, we haven't put that together quite yet.
Well, yeah,
We're going to get to
Gotta
that.
be quick with me, Flan.
Okay.
Okay.
We can try the soup song.
You want to try it?
Oh man, stone soup. We gonna have some stone soup. We got the water and a rock in the bottom of the bowl.
You've already been thinking?
No, that's something else.
Oh!
Pumpkin eater
Just
nut.
kidding.
Let's do
That's
Memphis.
that's from the Kim song.
Stone soup tastes a whole lot better when you put a fish in instead of the rock.
Instead of the rock. Exactly.
Absolutely.
Let's hear this
Exactly.
Memphis.
Okay. All right. So this is inspired by Tim and Jeff Buckley, a father and son. This is actually perfect for Father's Day. It's a story about. Well, it's a sad story because unfortunately they both died. But there's forgiveness and redemption in this song, so it comes through.
All yours, sister.
We're scooting.
Well, I was raised up in a small town, just my mother to shelter me. When my father hit the road, I only knew him in my dreams. Where he died, such a young man, always running from those he loved. Oh, he left me were his stories. I drank his words
We'll get there.
from
from an empty cup.
And you're going to help me when you get there too.
Take me
It's a
home,
two-person chorus
home to Memphis, in the dead of the night, where the still waters call me. I will meet him there tonight.
Will my
Success promise to live me
in a search for freedom, he let me down. But now I'm ready
to forgive him with the grace that I have found. Take me home, home to Memphis, in the dead of the night, where the still waters call me. I will meet him there tonight. Go ahead.
Okay, the na-na part. Na-na-na-na. Everyone.
Na-na-na-na. Na-na-na-na. Na-na-na-na.
Get in here, Katie. Come on. Everyone. Na-na-na-na. 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 Na-na-na-na.
Take me home, home to Memphis, in the dead of the night, where the still waters call me. I will meet him there tonight.
Good job. You got a voice like that. Go, girl, girl.
Oh man.
This girl can sing.
Man,
Katie
that
can
was-
sing. I heard her singing. And you want to know something? Maybe next time you come up and you know, maybe I can't make it, you get Katie to go do a couple gigs
Hey,
with you.
hey,
What?
hey, don't tempt me. Don't tempt me.
You're like,
I grabbed this.
I mean,
grabbed
I'll be
this,
in-
and
I'll
Ken
be in-
looks at me and he's like, I'm not ready for that yet. I'm like, I know you are. I'm going to play it. I know you don't need it yet. I'm going to play it.
Your chance is coming.
Well, okay.
It's coming.
Nice.
It's close.
Ken's cooking fish from
here-
France. Jeff's got ants in his pants, and Sean's playing bass all night long. We're going to drink and a drink and a drink and a drink. We got fish from France. Okay, I did my verse.
Jeff doesn't always stay on the camera, but he plays a mean guitar. Wanna take some fish, wanna take some fish, gonna let him stay in the frame.
Oh, no, I did my bit.
Come on, I know you got one.
Well, I love the fish and I love the mushrooms. I love them so much, wanna marry them. I think that I might become a freaking pescatarian. Fish from France.
Australian. Do you have any in the outback?
oh, talk about the kookaburra. Kookaburra, 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 kookaburra,
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, now you're.
Well, if you gotta make fish, gotta do it on a wonderful show like this. If you gotta want soup, gotta have Ken and make it on this show here. And everybody gonna feast it forward with a fish soup and a fish from France. Oh, nothing rhymed.
Happened though.
Oh, come on, Ken. Your
Okay.
turn. You get the final verse.
So we got a fish from France. Does it wear pants? And do those pants have ants? I don't know, but it's going to be tasty.
Fish from France.
It's a fish from France.
Fish from France. Fish from France.
Everybody,
France.
fish from
France. Fish from France. Fish from France. Gonna eat some fish. Fish. Ho, 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 hey! My daddy always told me, have a good time, son. They probably won't invite you back.
No, you're definitely being invited back tenfold. So, those of you just tuning in, I keep mentioning this, but we are here with Tim Flannery and Lunatic Fringe. Yes, there's a plentiful wine. Anybody in the
Wisdom
audience
wine.
that is
Wisdom
lacking vino, just run up here and get some. It's really fine.
We're in Napa Valley.
Yeah, right?
We never told anybody
I'm
that.
exhausted, by the way, from
Napa
the.
Valley.
That was my exercise for the day.
I love
This
it.
is our little corner of paradise.
It is really a
We drink
corner
good
of
wine
paradise.
every single day.
Yes, it is very special.
Can I
It's
say
good to be
something-
lucky.
Can I say something about the Love Harder project? That
Yes,
I
please.
actually like to ask Tim this question because one of the things that I'm learning through some of the hardships that I'm going through in my life, and we all have hardships, is to view humanity with more compassion and love and empathy. And kindness is the new superpower, in my opinion, and in many people's opinion. And I look at the bully with compassion, and I say, who bullied him? He learned that, or she learned that. How do we have the conversations? Do you do that in the classrooms with the kids talking? Because if we don't talk about it, it's just like, oh, a word, and it doesn't have that meaning. But like somebody, you learn that behavior. You're not born with your fists up trying to get your way, right?
Right, absolutely.
So how do we break that cycle? Is it going into the classrooms? Is
Absolutely.
That what that's where some of
That's
this
what
money
we
is
do.
going, right?
All of it goes there, and that's what exactly it needs to be talked about.
Yes.
It needs to be.
For your daughter's sake,
It
for
needs
my
to be.
own sake, for
A light
all
needs
our
to be
children's
shined on it, where you say this is wrong behavior, and I know it's been normalized of late, and it needs to say that is not normal behavior, and it doesn't end well. It does not end well when you're that way, and but you have to forgive. You have to be compassionate. You have to love harder. That's how the
Yes.
whole thing came about. You can't stop hate with hate. You can't stop anger with anger. Martin Luther King said the same thing. You can't stop it doing that. You have to love harder. So that's the Love Harder project and a song from France about fish.
Well, and yes,
Yay, love harder.
and sometimes too, loving is hard. You know, there is this compassion, like you said, empathy, key word, and yeah, it's tough and it's hard, but we all need to embrace that and love each other.
In the words of the late, great Marvin Gaye, only love can conquer hate. Period.
Yes. And the Beatles said it the best. All you need is love.
Does somebody know that
Love
song?
harder.
Yeah,
You know? Honestly, I just,
I love it.
yeah.
You know what? We have a song about that. Actually, it's called. It's on one of my records.
Want to show me this while they're doing this, or do you want to?
Potatoes need to cook.
It's called Harder.
And then I'm going to pull them out,
Oh,
and
great.
then,
So
and
this
then
is
Harder
at
than
the end of this song, then we'll.
Perfect.
This is perfect. This is a great segue. This is like show business.
Yeah, it is. Called The Harder That You Love.
That's right. Oh, I need my grater.
Gather up all the tears you've seen. Lay them gently on the ground. A sadness born from everything we crave. Left our dreams without a sound. The harder that we love, yeah, the deeper we're gonna feel. Looking down from up above, we're gonna find what is real, something that helps us heal. appearing out of 1,000 shattered windows, gazing toward the clear, heartbroken sky. Somewhere there's a place where an innocent wind still blows. Someday we won't have to cry. The harder that we love, yeah, the deeper we're gonna feel. Looking down from up above, we're gonna find what is real, something that helps us heal.
Yeah, Jeff Buckley! Woo! Rocking out in the
How are you,
kitchen.
40?
And outside the frame. Get closer, Jeff.
Gather up all the tears you've seen, lay them gently on the field. The spring will light up the darkness of each day, even when no answers are revealed. The harder that we love, yeah, the deeper we're gonna feel. Looking down from up above, through the clouds and the smoke, and the hawks and the doves, we're gonna find what is real, something that helps us heal. Loving harder.
Oh, loveharderproject.org. I said love harder, loveharderproject.org. Love harder, loveharderproject.org.
If we could just get her to have a little passion. That's all us coaches want.
I'm like sweating.
I know.
No, there's nothing like playing
Well,
behind a
this
fish
is-
stew.
I know, this is
She's
this.
wearing like sleeveless. I'm like, now I know why I'm wearing sleeveless.
They don't need a long
All right,
one.
what we're gonna do, this is the exciting part. I think he needs a musical bed underneath it.
Oh, you know what? I think
like
they're.
like
you know
a
what? I'm
musical
gonna.
bed.
Yeah. Get a little background music
Like
to
a
my
gum,
to my colander action, please.
You're in charge of that.
A
Play
little.
the pretty guitar.
That's it. A little. That's it. Oh yeah.
So you're going to hold the china cap like that, and I'm going to pour the soup in here without burning anybody.
Nice. Not do this at home. Wait, how do they not do this at home?
We got fish on the stove, and boys waiting from France.
It's gotta be tasty.
We got fish on the stove, and they say it's from France. It took a wrong turn off the Pacific Ocean, and it's here tonight for the dance.
Oh, it's pushing that fish through that colander into that pan. Oh, the fish through that sieve in the pan. Oh no, if you could just see what I can see
But Australian, talk about it, talk about it.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah! We got Camp Frank in the kitchen. We got Flannery and the Lunatic Fringe. Oh yeah!
Come, Katie.
We're gonna eat some soup, and it's gonna be oh so good.
Hands up for Katie, girl.
Woo!
Fish, 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 fish. Why do fish smell so fishy?
'Cause they like the low tide.
Oh, soup, 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 soup.
No soup for you!
Exactly.
What happened?
Oh, I don't know. I thought you were going to take it, Jeff.
I took it. It's not being took.
Ken's gonna tell us what he's gonna do with the fish in the bowl. Tell me what you're gonna do, Ken.
Tell us a story, Ken.
Tell us a story about your potatoes and your soup as soup.
So we got our soup from France and our fish from New Zealand, and it's all in the pot here. So we strain everything out, and I'm going to taste it, make sure it's good. But I've tasted it a few times. I think we're doing okay. If you're really paying attention, you saw I put the potatoes in about 20 minutes ago. I tested them a couple times; they were tender. That's when I knew it was time to strain the soup. And now I've got the little slices of fish and the potatoes back in the soup. It's going to boil in about a minute, and it's going to go in a bowl, and we're going to be done. Good to go.
Do you put any like cheese or anything on it, or is it just?
It's full flavored. It's delicious, and it's ready to go.
Oh, I'm sure it is. It looks,
Yeah.
smells
So
delicious.
as
Does
soon
the
as
studio audience get to try it?
Well, I don't know. We'll have to see. Technically, legally speaking, Napa Sanitation, no, we cannot let them
Oh,
try it.
well then
The
absolutely
band
not.
that is
They're not
part
going
of
to
the
do
show will absolutely try it.
because that would be wrong.
it. Gotcha.
But yeah,
Well,
no,
we
we're,
got-
We didn't want to break the law.
We got soup from France, fish from New Zealand, a drummer from Australia.
Oh, yes,
a Giants fan, a Dodger fan.
yeah.
Cover all bases.
That's right. Oh, good one.
For the win!
Reference.
All right,
Pun
so
intended.
I think while that boils, we are going to wrap this up. And for those of you that are not here, this is where you want to be. So look at our events page. Check out feastitforward.com for all of our series. We have an incredible library of video content. We're releasing our series with Jacques Pepin, who joined us. We're very, very excited. And we have incredible chefs like Ken Frank and Rick Moonen and a multitude of others that give a care, and we're here for this exact reason. So, Love Harder Project, thank you for all being here.
Oh my gosh.
We are going
like
to
lobster
taste
bisque.
this, and then we're going to tune out, and we're going to actually be able to raise our glasses
What
even
about the
further.
mushrooms?
Well,
That's my
would you want
girl.
to take a chunk, take a dip out of that? You want a little
No,
chunky?
I love
Okay.
mushrooms, but
All right.
All right.
But this will be, you can see this on our feastitforward.com page, on our network page. Check it out. Check out Love Harder Project. Please go to Chef Ken Frank's restaurant, La Toque.
Yes.
And maybe we'll have a little talk and I don't know, Mr. Buckley. Oh, see, he's off screen. He's not being very
I am
fair.
not. I'm right here. I'm totally a star right now.
I love it. I love it.
We are going to go right after this.
That's beautiful. So have you ever served this at the restaurant?
Oh God, no.
Oh.
This is what I eat at home.
Oh, okay.
Well, why for not? Why for not? That's a Coke.
This is
It's like ratatouille. It's like a.
fish from France, but this is home cooking.
Yes.
This is not restaurant cooking. This is home cooking,
Most
and
people
and
go
it's
to
tasty.
restaurants for home cooking. 'Cause
No,
they
it's-
don't know how.
Flan, did you get in here?
I did. It's like lobster bisque.
Oh, God. Oh,
Yeah.
whew. Yes.
It's good, and it's
Well,
simple.
yeah, it's good.
And
What are
and
you
you
talking about?
it's
You're the
one
chef.
pot cooking. You can do it in an hour. You go buy a fish at Osprey and
Oh, my gosh.
some fennel, some
incredible.
tomato, some onion, some
Do you put that
saffron.
recipe on the line?
Oh, yeah. We'll add that on. Well,
As soon as I give Katie the
as soon
recipe,
as
sure.
I was about to say, as soon as he gives me the recipe.
And chefs are really reliable
Yeah,
about writing
yeah,
recipes
totally.
down and giving them right away. But
Yeah.
I actually thought I had it written down and I didn't, so I already started it. And
Okay, good.
and
Great.
I will give it to you so you can send it to people. So if you want the recipe, I'll make it happen. You can get it from Katie at Feast
Yes,
of
and you'll
Forward.
see it on feastitforward.com.
But
Yay.
if we send you the recipe, promise to make a donation.
Yes, okay. Promise to make
That's
a
a
donation.
great idea.
So thank you to Ken Frank. Thank you to Tim. Oh, thank you so much.
Thanks to my band.
Thank you to the
Thank you.
band.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Thank you to all the live studio audience
Thank
for opening your pockets to
Yes.
help this wonderful cause.
Thank you.
And please, please,
Thank
please
you.
check out Love Harder Project. And I hope that I can tease them back, even though I originally called him a prick. That was all in
I
the
can be.
most
I bite.
amazing, loving way. We hope to have them back and have an even larger fundraiser. So please, step forward, raise a glass, awareness and funds, and thank you, thank you, thank you. We're out.
Thank you for coming.
Where'd it go?
Hey, great job. Great job. Great job.
Nice work.
Yay, that was super fun.
Nice work.